Welcome to Quick Reading, and get ready to master information overload, catch up, keep up, get ahead, and really dominate in today's information age. I want you to be unstoppable. My name is Jim Quick. I am going to be your quick reading coach, and I'm so proud and honored that you decided to join this program with me. Now, this program is going to be better than you think because it is the most complete system, step-by-step process to train your brain to be able to learn information faster, to be able to master your mind, to be able to catch up with information overload, to be able to really harness your focus so you can get more done when it comes to processing information. And it doesn't matter whether it's newspapers or magazines, if it's online reading, websites, if it's emails, if it's books on your shelf you haven't read yet, get ready to be able to be on the adventure of your lifetime. This program is all about picking up where your schooling left off. And really what this system is all about is not just learning, but it's about unlearning bad habits that we picked up when we were children in our traditional education system. So we're gonna upgrade your brain to upgrade your life. And that's really the essence of this program. So I'm gonna be your coach over the next few weeks, and we're gonna take you from where you are right now to reach your highest level goals and really deciding what is in this for you, like why you joined this program. And I know we talked about this in our original welcome video, but really remind yourself why you're here, because motivation, your motive for action, is everything. So are you ready to get started? Really the key to this program, to mastering your mind and mastering information overload, there's two different parts. There's the technical aspect of it, meaning step-by-step strategies that I'm going to teach you on how to read technical information, on how to really master your online reading, on how to be able to read faster and retain, take notes, all that information. But the other part, besides the technical expertise and the mechanical skill, is really going to be the mindset. It's really the psychology about what's going on inside your brain that really activates your genius, because that's really what this is. And I don't mean genius like IQ. I mean what activates that highest level of intelligence inside your mind, so that way you could have greater intellect, you could have greater income, you could have greater impact with the world, because that's really what it's all about. So where we're going to get started right now is there are two parts to this program. It's not just reading speed. Yes, you're going to improve your reading speed. Some of you will double, triple, and even more your velocity of taking information. And it's not just the speed of your reading. It's going to be your speed of your thoughts, because your thinking is really the value we have in today's society, right? Where knowledge is not only power, knowledge is profit, but you can only make really good decisions based on the knowledge you accumulate, right? And so what are you reading every single day? And we're gonna talk about really setting up your habits, so that way you create your habits and then your habits create you. And for those of you who are not reading every single day, I'm gonna show you simple systems on how to be able to do that so it's natural and it's organic. But the other part of it is not just speed, it's gonna be comprehension. Because as you know, no matter what your career or your background, it doesn't make sense to read something if you don't understand what you read. So a big portion of this program is really going to be about smart reading. How can you focus? How can you understand? How can you comprehend? Also, how can you go out and really apply what you're learning with the rest of the world? So before we get started, what we want to do right now is I want you to get a book. Get a book, and then there's certain qualities that I'm going to ask you for, because really it comes down to the practice that you're going to have. Every single day we're going to be reading for about 15 minutes a day. 15 minutes a day of reading, 10 to 15 minutes, is going to transform your life. It doesn't seem like a lot, but over the course of a few weeks, it's really going to grow. And remember, leaders are readers. Leaders are readers. So I want you to right now find a book. And now this book, I want you to practice, because I'm going to teach you mechanical skills with something a little bit lighter. So don't pick something like a textbook or something that's deep in data. I want you to pick a fun book, a book maybe that's story driven, a book that's easy to read, hardcover preferred because the words tend to be a little bit larger, and something that's driven by a plot. Something that has characters, something that has conflict, something that has a story to be able to tell. And we're going to practice with this first, and then from here, we're going to move to more technical reading. So grab that book now. If you need to pause this, do it now and grab your book. Okay, welcome back. Now that you have your reading material here, the fun begins because I'm going to show you in this program how to dramatically improve your reading speed, your velocity of thought, if you will. But how do you know if it works if you don't know where you're starting from? Because here's the maxim you want to remember. In order to be able to manage something, you have to be able to measure it. In order to manage something, you have to be able to measure it. And that's the great thing when it comes to reading. You can measure your reading speed, and we measure reading speed just like your typing speed in words per minute. So what we want to do right now is we want to make this interactive, because just sitting there and consuming information is not going to help you to change your life. You need to be able to apply it. So what I'd like you to be able to do now is grab your book, and I want you to go to the very first point of the book that's brand new. So if it's a brand new book, go to the very first part of the book. Now, if you've been reading this book, pick up where you left off. And what I want you to do is with a pen, put a little mark in the margin. Now we're talking about a physical book here. We'll talk about digital reading and reading on pads and digital devices later. But right now, I'd like you to put a little mark in the margin where you're starting it. And I'm gonna time you right now for 2 minutes. 2 minutes, and you're gonna read. And what I want you to do is read for full comprehension. Read how you would normally read to fully understand what you're reading. And at the end of 2 minutes, I'm gonna say stop. And when I say stop, what I want you to do is put a mark in the margin where you left off. And I'm gonna ask you to count the number of lines that you just read. Okay, and that's gonna be your base rate. So let's do that now. I want you to pick up where you left off, brand new on this book, if it's a brand new book, and begin now. Okay, and stop. Now what I'd like you to do is count the number of lines that you just read. Now it counts as a line if it goes more than halfway across the page. So you can estimate, if you will. Don't count if there's only 2 words on the line, that does not count as a line. But maybe you could take 2 half a lines, put them together, and that counts as 1 line. So you could guesstimate a little bit. What I want you to do now is count the number of lines you read in 2 minutes. Do it now. Okay, now that you know the number of lines you read in 2 minutes, what I want to find out is how many lines did you read per minute? So just divide that number by 2, you could round up. So for example, if you read 50 lines in 2 minutes, you divide it by 2, and that's 25 lines per minute. If you read maybe 41 lines into 2 minutes, divide it by 2, you would get 20.5, or you could round up, that's 21 lines per minute. Okay, so now that we know your lines per minute, what we want to discover is how many words on your average line, because everybody's reading different material. And that's the beauty of this program, is you're not reading stale, standardized tests. We let you choose the things that you're most interested in and most passionate about. So the challenge though is everybody has a different number of lines, difficulty, and so on. So everyone's number is going to be different when we compute it. So what I want you to do right now is count the number of words in 3 lines, meaning go through 3 lines of text in your book and count the number of words in those 3 lines. And I'd like you to divide that number by 3. And I know you're saying, Jim, I haven't done this kind of arithmetic in so long. I've been out of school. If you need to, use a calculator, but doing some mental math could also help boost your brain power. It's great brain training in addition to reading is arithmetic. And so what I'd like you to do again, just to be very clear, is count the number of words in 3 lines. And then I want you to divide by 3. And that's going to give you the average number of words per line. And what a lot of you will find is there are about 10 words per line. But depending on the book that you're reading and how it's laid out, some of you will have 8 words per line on average. Some of you have 6. Some of you will have 12. The majority of the people will actually have about 10 words per line. So now you have 2 numbers. The number of lines you read in 1 minute and also the average number of words per line. So in order to get your words per minute, all you're doing is multiplying those 2 numbers, meaning the number of lines you read in 1 minute times the average number of words per line. So if that average number of words per line again is 10, then just multiply your number by 10, and then you're going to get your words per minute. Now realize whatever number that happens to be, it's going to be different for every single person because it has to do with how tired you are. It has to do with the difficulty of information that you're reading. Some people could be reading something very easy. Other people, it could be more difficult. It also could have to do also with your background information on what you're reading also as well. So these numbers vary, and you'll see that throughout the entire course because the goal is for you to be able to read at the level that you feel most comfortable at. So what is the secret to being a faster reader? Here's the secret, one word, consistency. Consistency. Nothing great in your life, whether it's your health or your relationship or it's your business, can you get high levels of success without being consistent. It's not just going to the gym, working out once. It's not just saying I love you or doing something nice for your partner once. It's not just taking care of your client or building your business once. You have to be consistent. Same thing with reading. So really it comes down to making it a habit. And when you make reading a habit, you join an elite group of high performers. I mean, we're talking about individuals who succeed at the highest levels because leaders are readers, but they schedule it. That's really the key. You must schedule your reading. We're about to take an adventure together, a journey together, where we're going to double, triple, or even quadruple your reading speed. But it's not going to happen overnight. It comes from consistent effort and practice. So when it comes to accelerating your reading and improving your brain speed, the key is making a habit, because first you create your habits and then your habits create you. First you create your habits and then your habits create you. So the elite mental performers, they schedule their reading. So what I want you to do as your homework is I want you to schedule your reading for the week. Just 10 minutes a day. Schedule in your calendar 10 minutes a day. Now here's the thing, you want to schedule it at a time when you're awake. You don't want to leave it to the time, we all are different. We all have different chronotypes and time types, if you will. So maybe you're a morning person, you're an early bird, if you will, or some people are night owls. Schedule your reading around times when you're most alert, when you're most focused, and also around times where you have the least amount of distractions. You know, I would prefer people do this first thing in the morning because for most people, it's a great jumpstart to their day. Just like exercising first thing, this is kind of a mental boost, exercising your mind so you could go out there and tackle the things that you need to be able to tackle because your brain is really warmed up, if you will. But if you're not really quite sure, schedule around a time when you know you're gonna be awake and you have the least amount of distractions. So do that now. Go to your calendar and schedule 10-minute slot every single day over the next 7 days. Okay, quick reader, now is the time where you share with our community because this is the accountability part where we hold you to a high level standard. So it's not just me who's doing it, it's us. It's not me, it's we. So what I want you to do is share with us your optimal time to be able to read. What time of the day did you schedule? Is it 8 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning? Is it 10 o'clock at night? Because part of it is you being active and you're making a public commitment saying, this is what I'm gonna do this week. I'm so excited to be part of this program with you. I'll see you in tomorrow's lesson.